So I'm going to tell you guys a story. It's about two very different communities coming together to build a robot. Yes, a robot. But we all know how our stories go. It's going to have to start out ugly before it becomes beautiful. All right, so there's three main characters I want you guys to focus on, all right? The well-meaning white guy, the minorities, and me. I hate this thing. All right, and me. So, me and this well-meaning white guy, we've been friends for quite some time since the robotics team had started. So, but the minorities and other white people on the team refused to become best friends with each other due to, stereotypical beliefs of what the other race is, yada, yada, yada. So let's fast forward 2 months now. We're at a Holiday Inn hotel in Pittsburgh for our first competition. Me and this white guy were planning on how to take out our opponent for the next competition that next day, so we had to be, ready in the mindset. So then the minorities walk into the room, other students walk into the room, and now it's time to turn up. For those of you guys that are behind the generation, party. So as the music started to get louder and the voices started to carry, the well-meaning white guy and I could not think. We couldn't think of the situation that was going on at hand. So myself, I just gave up. We stopped talking. Yeah, the well-meaning white guy didn't. He told me to take your people and leave. This was my reaction. You people? You surely don't mean black people, do you? What were we supposed to think? My community did not know what to do, nor did we know what to say. Everyone, the minorities, left the room pissed. Now, I didn't. And before some of you guys say, now what the hell were you thinking not going with your people? Or what the heck were you thinking of staying in that environment? Let's take a step back. Let's analyze my life. Growing up, I grew up in two different worlds. I knew what it was like to be the black kid. And for instance, I'm gonna let you guys know, this is not me. This is just a random picture. But I also knew what it was like to be a black kid. So living these two different lifestyles, I knew what it meant to be different. You see, growing up, I didn't play sports. I didn't play basketball, nor did I play football. Sun did not touch my skin. If I was to play if I was to go outside and sun was to touch my skin, it was because my mom was telling me to take out the trash. So I'm a nerd. In the commitment of being a nerd, one must do nerd-like things. So I took apart computers. I played video games. Oh, yeah. And I programmed robots. See, my career in being the little robotic engineer that could started only when I was 14 years old. So I had a lot to learn. So like I said, I knew what it was like to be the black kid. My sister and I tend to go to LA some summers for a film and acting camp. There, best believe we were the only black kids on that backlot. I created a film surrounding love issues around LGBT. My director, the person in charge of the class, he was angry with me because I didn't bring it to his attention. Now, surprisingly enough, the white people in the room, me being the only black kid, came up and was like, well, why did he? I mean, we didn't have to tell you. Heck, I was talking about killing Jesus. So, I don't see why he had to. And in that moment, it was actually a comfort to see, overall, that some white people had rhythm, that some of them actually aren't stuck up, and some actually have the same goal as me, diversity and inclusion. Now, like I said, I also know what it likes to be a black kid. Now, growing up in the city of Dayton, in the inner city of Dayton, the high schools typically in that area run off a transport system called the RTA. Are we familiar with the RTA system? So, just this past recently, they went on strike. And for a lot of us, debatable reasons, it was a good reason to go on strike. No issues there. However, urban minorities, people in this area, relied on this system. So we had to figure out a way, well, how are we going to still go to work and get paid for it, or go to school and get an education for it? So those are the type of things that being a black kid, being most of everybody in this community, we had to think about. So having the experience of being a black kid and the black kid taught me how to take apart a robotics team where the robot where what we actually did was better than creating the robot in itself. So FIRST is more than robots. FIRST is more than robots. So robots is a vehicle for students to come in and learn important life skills. Kids come in often not knowing what they expect of the program nor of themselves. They leave even after the first season with a vision, with confidence, and a sense that they can create their own future. Bonds, bringing opportunities near Dayton students. This is a tag name drill, community-based team with the tagline, license to drill, you know, like license to kill, but the PG version? Yeah, I know, corny. But think about this. The demographics of Beverly Hills, LA, coming together with the demographics of Compton, LA, is crazy. Like, it's hilarious to actually think about. But West Dayton and Oakwood came together to build a community so our city does not continue to look like this. Black people over here and white people over here. But that actually looks like this. A community of different cultures coming together to work together in the same community. So when you ask me, let's go back to the story. When you ask me why I didn't leave, 2 reasons. Because I didn't want to respond in negative, angry black guy connotation, but also because if I was to leave, I wouldn't be creating a bond, I'll be breaking it. I mean, I wouldn't be breaking a bond. I wouldn't be creating a bond, I would be breaking it. So, Bonds is a diverse group of high school students coming together to build a robot, having those questions, having those conversations that people are afraid to have. So, and we do this through a unique way, through the arts of STEM. See, right now, the majority of the STEM field is filled with white males, but little do people know that the STEM area is waiting for different minorities, different people of color, and much more women to actually join in this field. So, I'm sorry. So the truth of the matter is, white people will say stupid things, black people will say stupid things, and Hispanic people will say stupid things. So, I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret, and I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but we're all human. And we're gonna say and do things that we don't mean all the time. In the FIRST organization, there's a program called FRC. FRC stands for FIRST Robotics Competition. And in FRC, there's a 6-week build season, meaning that we have to basically work day and night if we want to produce a robot at the end of that 6 weeks. So through that, in our team, if we're going to spend that much time together, we better be working together, there better be no arguments, and we better be one big happy family. Thank you.